All right, day 4, week 2. Gonna start out with some drills this morning, and that's kind of a hybrid workout. It's a little bit of upper body and lower body, all written up by carryover felt. So let's begin. Start out with a stick drill. Then we'll do a full turn. And try and not get too dizzy in the morning. And one more.
Another one.
Talked about most of those in the other video, but on the rotation, I'm just trying to get my hip, and just kind of everything, just timing to where the hip's going forward and then pushing through like we do on stones, or really like we do on just about any of the throws. That was one I'd seen Ryan Krauser do that I really liked, so I just incorporated it. Now we'll go into our warm-ups, which is gonna be band press downs, Kirk rows, and overhead barbell shrugs. So we go high reps, 20 press downs here. Cool thing about the bands, just the resistance increases. Actually, as you get stronger, it's getting more difficult, but then doing the higher reps gets a lot of blood flow into the muscle before you get started. Now, Kerry put barbell overhead shrugs, but I ended up getting these fat belts from him, so I try and incorporate them anytime I can. So I do my overhead shrugs. Now I'll do the Kirk rows, which is really just a shrug with a upright row. Try to keep it light on my first set. I had a buddy explain how to do shrugs, and he said it's just really easy. It's really good. We do 3 rounds of these. I've been working with Kerry for 3 years, and he's still incorporating things that I haven't experienced yet, which is kind of crazy. And worked out for 20-some years, and then been coach back after 3, and he's still putting stuff in that keeps it interesting and new. It gives you some variety. So if you're looking for somebody to write up your programming, carryover felt is the way to go. Not for just Highland games, just all around. All right, one more round. It's crazy. I used to just do whatever the exercise was, barbell, a couple sets real light, call that a warm up. I'm warmed up now, so.
What do you mean by that?
Now we can start the actual workout. All right, we're gonna do 4 sets of 5 on the banded rack pull, and then 4 sets of 2 reps on a hang clean. Trying to stay light on the hang cleans. We'll work our way up with some weight over here, but this will be the first set. Set 2, banded rack pull, 5 reps. Start getting some weight on. All right, last set, 5 reps here. And 2 reps on the cleans. So we're gonna do a superset. This is a half kneeling, 1 arm landmine press. And he wants it to be done like you're throwing a shot put. So it's a thumb down, elbow high. Six on each side, 4 sets, and we will superset with pull-ups. Gets a lot easier as you get lighter too. All right, we got another superset, 3 sets of 8 on its Chaos barbell curl. We got bands hooked to some weights just to create some an unstable environment, I guess. And then overhead dumbbell tricep extension by 12. $6:45, time to go to work. 4:30, just got off work. Getting ready to have an afternoon throwing session. Gonna do stones, probably just go with Braemar and some drills on that. And then I'll do heavyweight for distance, possibly a lightweight, and then some hammer, which I need to work on a lot right now. Let's go. Yeah. Start out by just doing a couple drills just to get my wrist warmed up and just my body kind of loosened up. I didn't do any kind of weighted warm up. Sometimes I get home in the afternoon and it's just go time because I want to get my throws in and then I want to go eat.
Feed me more.
Just start with toes to the board. Kobe. Just try and keep my hip forward and just lean into a couple. I am not a shot putter, so stones are most definitely not my strong suit. My goal is usually to be in the middle of the pack on stones, and hopefully I can make up for it later. I go into a knee down drill. Usually do 2 or 3 of toes to the board, and 2 or 3 knee down. Do another one of these, and then I'll go in and probably do about 5 or 6 Braemars, maybe a couple open stone where I can actually move. But so for those that don't know, Braemar is just, you can't advance into it. So it's just like a standing throw. Unlike shot put where you spin or glide. So next one's just gonna be standing throw. I'm gonna try and not advance or reverse on a couple, just kind of keep my feet planted. Find stones to be the most boring of all of the things to practice, but I have to do it. Don't actually like doing it.
Somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one.
A lot of people that like stones were shot putters in high school and college, and I was neither. I don't like it.
You are made of stupid.
Sweaty mess. It's really humid.
My balls was hot.
Stone really wants to move around on my neck. 2 more. I always like to take really 3 throws right at the end and just kind of try and put a little bit of pressure on myself, not to get out of it being practice or anything, but just kind of think about it like it's a game where I've got 3 throws that matter. Try not to foul, and I try to put a little bit on it. Last one. Go ahead and do 2 on open stone where people glide. They'll glide, or even some call it South African, where they spin into it. I do not have those sets of skills. So I skip. Sometimes it comes together and it's an okay throw. Trash. Sometimes they are trash. I'll do one more of the open. So you've got 7.5 feet by 4.5 feet. Do the open stone. Then we get into weights for distance. It's 9 feet by 4.5 feet. Done with stones.
Finna get crunk.
So the next one we're gonna do is heavyweight for distance. I don't do a long chain. You can do a longer chain. There's just a certain measurement you can go from end to end. I just do the short chain, just like if I were doing the weight over bar. Doesn't go as far. I always start out the front and I just do a throw without any moving. I just try and get where I'm getting my hip into it and come around. Doesn't go very far, but it just starts to get my body ready to throw like this. Do 2 of those. Then I go into 1 turn. Just something else I don't really like to do. A 42-pound weight. That's what we call a heavyweight for distance. Weight for distance for masters. That's anybody over 40 or even lightweight use the 42, which I'm both right now. The open or like the A class, really, A, B, C, novice, they all use a 56-pound, which is what I used to use. Kind of saved my body a little bit. So it's a 1 turn. I'll land here in the back, try and get around and into that same position, and then throw it. A little more momentum going. On this type of layout right here, you can have 1 foot in and 1 foot out when you start, and when you finish up at the front, you just can't go forward of the trig. Oh yeah, buddy. Yeah, that's real. Now I gotta do one more. Some people don't practice with the trig, but I do, because if I do dumb stuff like that, make sure I fix it before I get into a competition. Trash. I'm sure most throwers or people that do this kind of stuff when they're by themselves do a lot of talking to themselves. So even though I've got somebody here, the habit of talking trash to myself, I guess. All right, 2 turn. So I'll turn back here, try and land my foot to where I was on the 1 turn, then go forward. Probably do 5 total. Do another one here, and then I'll do 3. Right now, I'm actually just not trying to do too much volume, but trying to get most of the throws in. And we've been having a lot of good weather around here of rain and storms, so. I don't like to spend forever out here, so I'll just go from one throw to another, maybe take a little bit of a break every once in a while, but it's so hot, a lot of times I just want to get out of it and be done. So that would be a foul, and that throw would not count because my foot laying on top of the trig board. And again, gotta fix that. So it's a pretty realistic scenario. Foul twice, and then have to try and be safe and throw one where you don't foul. This is actually my favorite event. Lightweight for distance. I have a bad habit of diving with my left shoulder to the center of the trig, center of the box. Carrie's told me I do it. I see it in the videos. Zach Riley's told me I do it. I see it in the videos. I might fix it a little bit in practice. Then I get to a game and I just go really hard and I dive my shoulder in again. So it's definitely a hard habit to break. So I will work on that on this. And that's it on the weights. I have a tendency of overdoing it. I rip my hand open or I hurt something and then I can't practice the next day or two. So I'm trying to become more patient and just accept some of these throws and not try and get the greatest throw every time. Now we will get into our murder boots and throw some hammer. Call these blades. It's just a way for you to dig into the ground and create pressure where your feet aren't moving around while you're throwing the hammer. Stepdad made these 5 years ago maybe. Once you start throwing in them, it's very difficult to go back to throwing without them. So I tried once just to see what it felt like. It felt weird.
That's weird.
Most practices I'll usually trip over them one time, fall. So hopefully I can do that for the camera today. My cap got messed up. I'm actually using a paint can top to just try and get something to stick to my hand. So what I have to do more than anything right now is work on my release. So I'll do a couple winds, try and get loose with the movement. And I'll just do some singles and release. Do that in competition, they get mad. Sometimes I'll practice without any tack on it. Usually doesn't work out real good. If you don't want to actually have a really hard grip when you're throwing, then you tend to pull everything in, which I already have that problem anyways. So I will do some singles here, work my way up to some full winds. I have a tendency of letting go really low and short, so I'm just trying to exaggerate my hands being high and releasing high. It's kind of the cool thing about Highland games is that you'll have some guys that are really good at a couple events, then they'll have some weaker events, so it can balance itself out. Now we'll do a 2 wind, probably 2 of those, and I'll do a couple full throws. Trash. Ah, trash. Hydration. Hydration. Oh, trash. Where'd I put the lid? Where'd I put you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Yes. Palms are sweaty. Can't get any more tacky on there, so knees weak. And the best one to end it for the day. Game over. Here's what I think to do right at the end. We need to have something that just goes back and doesn't really end it, but just like.
Well, it's been a pretty good practice. You know, I threw it really hard today. Threw it really hard. We put in a lot of good effort today. We ruined a couple shirts. I have to change my underwear.
You can throw that one in there though.